Ladies and gentlemen, the 4-year cycle is a very nuanced thing. It stems backwards from 2012. It was triggered by the first halving. It's a date range trend on Bitcoin that has basically predicted every single top and bottom, historically speaking, since 2012. So it predicted the top and bottom and the dates of the tops and bottoms in 2013, in 2014, 2017, 2018 bottom, the 2021 top, the 2022 bottom. And now it predicts that the top on Bitcoin will be in around October to November 2025. So late this year. Now, the thing of the 4-year cycle is it's not really based on price. It's not based on structure. It's based specifically about literally the date that Bitcoin tops and literally the date that Bitcoin bottoms. And this means that cycle to cycle, we see different structures form. For example, in the first cycle we saw in 2012 to 2013, we saw two significant legs. The first leg right here, stagnating for a while, and the second leg right here. 2017 was extremely linear. We literally just went upwards, straight upwards with various 30% corrections, but overall is a very simple bull market to trade. 2021 was a bit more difficult. We had two significant peaks, one of them being slightly higher than the other. A lot of people labeled that a double top formation. It's not strictly true. We did go higher on the second top, and we did mark the top as per 4-year cycle there. And now this cycle, it will be different, of course. I mean, the trend at this point is that we have the same date range trend, but within that same date range trend, we see different structures. So it doesn't really matter how Bitcoin gets to its Q4 2025 top. What matters is it gets there. And the only way we know that it's still on track to getting there is by looking at the macro support structures and seeing that they're still intact, seeing that Bitcoin is not rolling over into a bear market. Now, although this bull market has been so strange so far, every bull market has been strange, right? If you look at, again, 2013, it was different to 2021, it was different to 2017, it's different to this time. So the fact that Bitcoin is acting what you would say is abnormally is not actually abnormal. It's completely normal. We just need to hold on to the big support zones. And right now, Bitcoin's actually doing that. So even in wake of the big drop of the last 2 days, we're still holding on to support we need to be holding on to. We're holding on to this level from the 2021 bull market highs in yellow. We're holding it, clearly holding it. In fact, we came down even during the parabolic, freakish nature of a drop just 2 days ago or yesterday, right? That massive drop down on Bitcoin. The one thing that acted coherently was that macro support zone. So we are still in the bull market here. Call it what you want. You know, you could be sad, you can be angry, you've probably lost money, maybe you haven't, maybe you've made money. Fact of the matter is, the bull market on Bitcoin is not over because the macro support zone is still intact. That's the simple truth, right? So we know the 4-year cycle is based on Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin is still intact at this point in time, hence Bitcoin's still in a bull market. What about altcoins? Because the connection between the 4-year cycle and the altcoin market is actually a little bit more complicated than that of Bitcoin and the 4-year cycle. Altcoins, of course, follow Bitcoin and they behave relative to how Bitcoin behaves. Now, we have periods of time which are called altcoin seasons, which is when Bitcoin dominance tanks to the downside. Okay, altcoins outperform Bitcoin. And we have periods of time called Bitcoin seasons, which is when Bitcoin dominance rises to the upside, representing Bitcoin outperforming altcoins. Now, the altcoin seasons generally happen during the Bitcoin bull markets because during Bitcoin bull markets, people rush into Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets very high in price, and then people see altcoins as a more lucrative investment option with higher reward potential. They essentially get bored of Bitcoin and flip their money into altcoins. So generally speaking, we have seen altcoin seasons occur in Bitcoin bull markets. And so if history is anything to say for it, we should, or it would be reasonable to expect, see Bitcoin dominance tanking. Here's the crux of the video here today. It's taken me a long time to get to this point. It's probably the longest introduction I've done on this YouTube channel. There's just a lot to get into here. The problem is, on the drop of the last couple of days, Bitcoin dominance has reached new local highs, which is quite concerning because it's not meant to be doing that at this part of the cycle. So we're going to delve into that today and see what's going on. So possibly the longest introduction in Wolves of Crypto history here. Probably took up half the video there. Actually, I almost certainly did. But regardless, let's get into the exchanges, then we'll dive into the crux of the issue here. Right, Bitfinex and BitGet. Guys, if you want an exchange, if you need an exchange, and you do need an exchange, by the way, to buy and sell cryptocurrency, you need to be on a good one because you're trusting the money. You're trusting them to keep your money safe, I should say. You're leaving your funds on the exchanges and you're trusting they won't get hacked. You're trusting they'll handle them responsibly. And in the past, we've seen many exchanges not do that. So you want to be on an exchange that you can trust to some degree at least, okay? And you want to be on an exchange that's not basically ripping you off in fees, giving you good trading fee prices. Now that's why I've chosen Bitfinex and BitGet. Bitfinex is global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world, and BitGet is not global. It doesn't allow people from America, but everywhere else it allows. And also, you can sign up from anywhere in the world, again, except for the US, with a 15% trading fee discount given to you with my referral link down below. So use my referral link down below, get the 15% trading fee discount on Bitunix or BitGet. Take your picks. The links are down there. It helps me out drastically by using that link, and it helps you out as well. So check them out if you're interested. Let's dive into the content. So please understand, Bitcoin is still on macro support at this point in time. That's great to see. In fact, Bitcoin has flipped above the POC of the range's volume profile. So we're actually in a position of potential recovery here on the Bitcoin short term. We'll be monitoring that situation very closely. I'm not confident in a full recovery until Bitcoin manages to close a daily candle above this daily candle resistance zone here in red at around 106,000. And more importantly, until it breaks the actual macro resistance level there in orange, which stems all the way back from 2017. That's when the next move will be marked, of course. That's when the next leg will begin. At this point in time, we still are at risk, but the short-term situation is stabilizing for now, which is good to see. Ethereum, it's a similar story. Guys, we'll dive into Bitcoin dominance in just a moment here. I just want to look at this. Ethereum is a similar story. Massive breakdown from a triangle formation coming all the way down to a support zone at 2,100. Very, very low down. But in the time being, at this point in time, we're seeing Ethereum kind of consolidate on a macro support and a gap in the volume profile. So we're in between support and resistance here on Ethereum, which represents some degree of stabilization. It's good to see as well, and hopeful for a recovery there on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Fingers crossed, guys. It's not looking too bad right now. Total cryptocurrency market cap consolidating on the prior all-time high support from 2021. That's pretty decent to see. And the total 3, the altcoin market cap chart, actually came right down to a prior macro support zone as well as a weekly chart RSI diagonal support zone and bounced off of those levels. So that's quite good to see as well. So overall, this drop has been brutal, that's for sure. But these macro structures across all the charts are still actually intact. So it hasn't actually been as devastating as some people would be led to believe from a longer term perspective. It's just really the short term, medium term it's got destroyed. And altcoins have been decimated. There's no way around that. And this is where we get into, it's taken me 7 minutes to get here, but the main issue I want to talk about won't actually take me too long to discuss, but we know that basically the crypto money cycle flow works in a very specific way. So generally speaking, money starts flowing into Bitcoin from USDT. I'm just going to draw out a map for you so you can visualize it. From USDT or fiat or whatever it is, flows into Bitcoin. People buy Bitcoin during the bear market. They buy it all the way until the start of the bull market. When the bull market really kicks off and really begins, people get bored of Bitcoin. They flip their money into altcoins and Ethereum. Okay, that's when parabolia comes in. That's when greed comes in. Obviously, from there, the money has nowhere else to go. The market's way up in the sky. The market then tops out and the money flows right back into USDT and fiat. People sell, leads to the bull market top, and the cycle repeats. That's the 4-year cycle in a visualized money flow perspective. And as you can see, it goes from Bitcoin into altcoins from there. And generally speaking, that happens during a bull market. We are in a bull market now. However, it seems we didn't quite reach that same phase, right? Generally speaking, when Bitcoin sees the bulk of its bull market move, altcoins start moving. That's when Bitcoin dominance starts to tank. That happened over here in February 2017. Okay, Bitcoin dominance starting to tank to the downside. Altcoins took control of the market. It happened right here in 2021. And more specifically, there's actually a date range trend here. So if we measure a date range trend from when it started dropping here in 2017 to when it stopped dropping in January 2018, it took about 322 days. It took the exact same amount of days from the start of the altcoin season to when Bitcoin topped, which is in November, right here, 322 days in 2021 as well. So historically, we have this kind of trend developing where it takes 322 days to see that altcoin season and the length of that altcoin season between the start of it and the Bitcoin top. Now, we started dropping on Bitcoin dominance quite significantly back here in November. That's also when Bitcoin managed to break its prior all-time high. And 322 days from that point would have put us in October 2025, which is, of course, when Bitcoin is expected to top as per the 4-year cycle. So it would have made perfect sense for Bitcoin dominance to continue decreasing until October 2025. The issue is now we've broken that local high and this trend is invalidated. Okay, so that's a bit of an issue because now we're in a situation where our trend on Bitcoin dominance, which says we see an altcoin season while Bitcoin rises and it lasts a certain amount of time and it looks a certain way, is gone. And therefore, we don't really know how altcoins are going to react to the Bitcoin bull market, which is at this time, we have a reason to believe what altcoins are going to do in response. Now, if we had to speculate that Bitcoin dominance will decrease and we'll see a regular altcoin season, we do still have the logical analysis from the money flow chart we drew up here, right? The only way money has ever moved in cryptocurrency is from Bitcoin. Bitcoin sees a bull market, and then it flows into altcoins. Altcoins top out, there's nowhere else for it to go, and then it flows into USDT. That's the only way we know the market to move. It also makes perfect sense, which is why I can explain it to you so simply with a money flow chart that took 30 seconds to draw up. It makes sense. So, although the structure here, the trend-based date range structure on the Bitcoin dominance chart is broken, I don't think the underlying mechanisms of the market and money flow and cryptocurrency have fundamentally changed. So I think we will still see an altcoin season if the bull market does continue. Perhaps it will look different to the last two times. Perhaps it won't last the same amount of many days, but I do think we will still see it. So I just wanted to point out that that charting trend has broken there on Bitcoin dominance, and that does put altcoin investing in a more high risk category because you don't have the charting evidence to support that an altcoin season will occur anymore. But you still do have the logical analysis evidence and the money flow evidence and just the underlying mechanisms of the cryptocurrency market. So it won't be as predictable how altcoins will move if we do see that regular bull market again. They probably will move. It will just be not as predictable as price cycles. So look, perhaps I took too long to get to the point there in that video, and I apologize for that, but I do think a lot of that information I talked about today was very useful and needed to be heard, even though it took a while to get to that main video topic. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out the Bit2Nix and BitGet exchange. Once again, I'll mention it, Bit2Nix being global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world with just an email address and a password. It takes literally 15 seconds to sign up. I'm not kidding. And if you sign up with my referral link down below, you'll get a 15% trading fee discount. Again, with that referral link. They've never been hacked before. It's a very big perk when an exchange has never been hacked before. It means they're historically reliable. BitGet is an alternative option, okay? They're top 5 in trading volume consistently. They've got no liquidity issues for that reason, and they've been around for a very long period of time. So use my links down below for 15% trading fee discount. Take your pick on either exchange you like, and also check out, finally, and we'll end off after this, the VIP group. You can see it on Telegram right here. We trade altcoins 4 times a week. I post those altcoin trading signals to you 4 times a week, and you get access to a group chat as well. So check it out if you're interested, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon.